Welcome to livingpianos.com. Today the question is, how should you be practicing? There's so much to unpack here. And interestingly, I'm going to give you some tips. I sometimes think of practice sessions like a fine meal with perhaps an appetizer of warm-ups, a main course of memorization, a little treat dessert of review pieces, something along that nature. But I want to stress something, that practicing fundamentally is mental engagement. And anything that keeps you engaged in the process is effective practicing. If you ever feel like you're just going through the motions, you're not really there, switch it up, because this isn't like a hard and fast rules I'm giving you. It's suggestions of things that can really be helpful for you. So the first thing is to warm up properly. Now, what do I mean by this? First of all, like in the winter months, you come in and your hands are icy cold. The first thing you want to do is to warm them up, maybe under some warm water, not really hot water, but warm enough that you don't go to the piano with icy cold hands. Then you can just maybe play some slow music, or perhaps even a slow scale, something just to limber up your fingers so you don't sail into some virtuosic music first thing and potentially do yourself any damage. Now, I always stress the importance of learning music, and to learn something is to memorize it. And while you're fresh, that's the time to hit memorization before you're tired, and you want to make sure you get to some memorization each day, because it's not the kind of thing you can cram. You have to do a little bit each day, and then each day you reinforce what you've done in the previous days. As I've explained, you have multiple stages to development. The things you learned most recently need the most work, but you take them to the point of diminishing returns, and each previous day, you can get to a higher level as the days go on. So hit that early in your practice so it doesn't go by the wayside. Since it's so important, it's perhaps the most important thing for a pianist is to expand your repertoire. So learning music is vital for that. Going right along with that is the refinement of what you've done in previous days. And this process entails many things. For example, zeroing in. You don't want to work on the whole piece equally. You want to focus in on the problem spots. So if you have a certain passage that just isn't clean, or you can't get up to speed, you could try metronome speeds, one notch at a time, after getting it really solid at a slow speed. Or you can do more hand-separate work. You can do rhythms, high fingers, slow practice. There's many things that go into refinement, but this is a great thing to do after your initial memorization efforts. Then when your brain is tired of thinking this way, you switch it up, and a completely different part of your consciousness is involved in things like scales and arpeggios, wrist exercises, octaves, thirds, any pure technique. This is a great time for it because it's a different type of concentration, certainly from memorization. Gives you an opportunity just to study your technique devoid of music. At this point, reward yourself and play some review pieces. Enjoy yourself. Now, you can also involve some of the refinement process here. Maybe some slow practice without the pedal, some metronome work, revisiting the score if it's a piece that's memorized. But just playing through review pieces will keep them from going by the wayside, because, if you don't play them at all for a long time, they won't be there for you anymore. So just playing through them, and it's fun. I mean, what's the whole point of learning music if you don't get to play, right? And the more you play these pieces, the more comfortable you'll be if anybody wants to hear you play. If you're used to playing certain pieces on a regular basis, it'll just be the most natural thing in the world for you when somebody asks you to play for them. Finally, and as I said, it doesn't have to be in this specific order, what a great time to explore new music, some sight reading, just to have an opportunity to explore music you may want to study, or even if it's not music you want to study, maybe you're working on some Chopin mazurkas and you want to see, what other mazurkas are there, just to get a feel for it, or whatever music you're working on. Maybe you want to look at something you've never looked at before. Maybe there's a piece that you heard somebody play and you want to try it out for yourself. It's a great way to break it up. So once again, break up your practice into these different strategic parts, and you should be in really good shape, starting with a good warm-up to get your fingers limbered up. Then go for the memorization while your mind is still fresh. Then refinement of what you've learned previously. Then you can work on pure exercises, a different part of the brain. Then have some fun playing review pieces. And finally, explore new music with sight reading. How do you like that for a process? Leave here in the comments if you have some ideas about your practice regimen and what works for you. Share it with everybody here at livingpianos.com. We are your online piano resource. Thanks for joining me. I'm Robert Estrin. We'll see you next time.